And you sitting on the couch trying to watch TV.
That shit sound like a joke, nigga. This is all shit that happened to me, nigga.
I'm for real. I'm being serious. You sitting in there, and then you start watching kids coming in. A kid might come in every once in a while, turn the TV. Who you? Or some shit like that. And then nigga like me, I'm counting the children. I'm like, okay, that's one. Wait a minute, that's two. Nigga, that a third child? Well, I'm out. Fuck that. And look, I'm gonna ask before I go. Are all of your kids and them some of your sister kids or somebody else's kids? Like, oh no, man. I think I'm finna dip. But dude, you know what? I'm gonna tell you something, man. Like saying that shit, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be real with y'all right now. Most dudes, if you ask them, ladies, they have a number of how many kids they gonna accept in the first place. Most of them do. Like in my younger days, nigga, I was never going past one. I don't give a fuck what the fuck was happening. If you had more than one, it was a wrap. And let me tell you how that shit backfired on the nigga real fast. Real quick story. I met one of the baddest motherfuckers you done ever seen in your goddamn life. I mean, this motherfucker fine as fuck. Nigga ain't got no fupa, nothing. You know what I'm saying? And we wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, she was bad. You know what I'm saying? Let's just put this shit down. Nah, this motherfucker, come to find out, after we done dated a few times, you know what I'm saying? I done hit and went over there a few more times and shit. But come to find out, she didn't have all her kids. Like, they was like staying the summer with her ex-husband. Because she used to be married. So I'm like, first of all, ladies, if you know you got a whole squadron of children, I don't give a fuck what the circumstance. I don't care if you ain't got custody of them motherfuckers. You need to mention that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, I done developed feelings. I'm like, this motherfucker fine as hell. I might have to introduce her to mom. And I don't even know. I know how the conversation came up. They was finna come back home. So she had to tell me. You get what I'm saying? Like, they were just gone for the summer. So the summer's coming to an end. And now they finna have to come back home. Because I knew she had kids, but a nigga never thought in a billion years it was that many. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking maybe two. I don't know. I was young, nigga. I ain't never know to ask the number. That's probably my first lesson in, no, don't let the bitches get away with saying I got a certain amount of kids. Ask how many. Nigga. You gonna have to ask for that number. Man, this motherfucker had 6 children, dog. Like, what?
Family plus.
I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, how the fuck did you have 6? They were stair-steppers like a motherfucker, though. But the whole time, all of them was born in wedlock, nigga. No, I'm lying. All of them but the very first one. They're the only one that went a hood. So her hood was just some fucking motherfuckers is what the fuck that was. They refused to wear condoms or something. So it got to the situation, nigga. I tried my damnedest to look over that shit. Nigga, I ain't make it past a week. Let me tell y'all something. This gonna sound real fucked up. I ain't get to meet them kids but one time. It was just one. I got to meet them kids one time. I actually stayed long enough to meet them. You know what I'm saying? One time. And it was just the scene of chaos of them running around that house. I went, oh, no. You know what I'm saying? Look. And every time I kept looking at her body like, I'm going to have to hit one last time before I go because god damn. Look. I had to tell her, man, I said, listen. I had to give her the real and she couldn't understand it. She was tearing up and shit. And I'm tripping on. I'm saying to myself, how the fuck you can't understand if they don't want to deal with 6 goddamn kids? I'm like, it's like at the time, nigga, I ain't got but one. How in the fuck you got 6 kids? Like, what the fuck? So that mother just could not understand, kept just telling me why, and then trying to convince me that you ain't really got to, you know, they not yours, so you really ain't got to take care of them. I said, how the fuck I'm going to not take care of motherfuckers that live with me? Are you crazy? No. I said, we ain't gonna make it. I sure hated it, boy. I sure hated it. Because that motherfucker, to this day, nigga, is still fine as a motherfucker.
Right?
That motherfucker is built. You hear what I'm saying? I don't know what genes that nigga roll come from. But that's why I can't let women, every time I use that same chick as an example, that I can't let these women make it when they be talking about these kids, be making them fat and shit. I use her for example every time, like, nigga, this heifer could probably wear a bikini right now, easily. You know, this motherfucker is still fine like that. Like, you can kiss my ass, and she older than me. That motherfucker now got to be Like 54?
70 something.
No, she ain't that old. She like about 54, 53, something like that. But that motherfucker still built like a battleship. You know what I'm talking about? That motherfucker ain't got no back fat or nothing. I mean, it's like, nigga, goddamn. Wherever your genes you got, nigga, you need to pass that shit on to some of these heifers around. Let me stop talking about folks. But my point is, I can't get past that shit, dog. It's just too much chaos and shit. And then even talk about older kids, ain't nowhere in the fuck. Especially if you got bad kids. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of motherfuckers, if they was good and respectful and did they shit, like, cause don't get me wrong, it goes both ways. Because I know females that say the same shit now. Because females don't be wanting to deal with your funky ass baby mama and her bullshit. And they don't want to deal with like I know females that it's the exact same thing opposite of what like Mike doing, but it's a female where the dad don't discipline the child because he's so scared that the mama gonna say something. So the child just disrespectful and do all kind of fuck shit. Like she fucked up to the point where that nigga done proposed and she done had to call the wedding off. I mean, I told both of us, bruh, if it's fucking with you that much before y'all get married, you know this shit gonna only get worse. Especially at some point, you know, because it's a little kid. So I'm like, at some point, that nigga might actually come live with y'all. Like if she completely lose control of him. Joker's famous for that. Once they done spoil them to death and they completely lose control and they become a teenager, then you want to send them to the daddy. After the motherfucker just ain't got no control of them. And I'm like, hell, you may be in that shit, and that nigga may be in there causing havoc. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, because it ain't, I'm gonna tell you, this is exactly what she told me. And then I'm gonna read something I started the chat room, because they saying the same thing in the chat room. She was like, when it ain't your kid, you don't feel comfortable, especially at the beginning of a relationship, trying to do anything. You know what I mean? Like, man, wrap this motherfucker, like Mike was talking about. You know what I mean? Like, wrap this motherfucker in the mouth, because that's how she was talking. You know what I'm saying? And he don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, look, it's people in the chat room saying the same thing. We got David from Kansas City saying that people talking about spoiled kids, like people don't be wanting to discipline spoiled kids is a turnoff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get this the same thing. I think everybody got the similar thing happening. Especially, like I said, when it's a bad kid. When a kid is really bad, you know what I'm saying? Like, you talking about coming in the room, beating on the door, all that kind of shit. Like, I done dated that before, too, nigga. Motherfucker out there beating on that door like a motherfucker. I'm like, well, nigga, you gonna be beating until I'm finished. Let me beat this up.
Man, that shit that happened, boy, like, so wait a minute, let me see what he want. Bitch, I'm almost there. You going to wait.
Ain't no stopping once we start going.
I ain't no stopping, pausing this shit, goddamn.
Hey, I tell you what else saying this shit. They used to piss me off. Motherfucker be like, we gotta wait until they go to bed. What? And then these motherfuckers, they ain't got no real bedtime for the kid. The kid's still up at 1:30. I'm like, what the fuck, man? I'm finna go.
Bruh, I got tricked into that shit a couple weeks ago. You know, the bride, I know she gets, most of the brides I fool with, I ain't got but one kid. That's my number. I'm not going past this. I'm not dealing with all that baby daddy drama and all that bullshit. Mm-hmm. But this girl gonna tell, she said, come on over. You can come on over. I said, so the baby must be asleep or something. It's like 10 o'clock. She said, just come on over. I'm like, all right. I leave my house and go over there. I knock on the door. She open the door. I walk in, sit on the couch. We sitting there talking. Here come this little motherfucker around the corner. Mommy. I was like, what the fuck? He gonna be sleeping in a minute. I'm like, look at me. I said, your son gonna fuck around and see you get fucked. Don't be playing with me like that. She like, what? I said, yo, you heard what I said. You don't have gas coming over here. She said, you ain't burnt no gas. Nigga, gas is almost $5. Nigga, I don't do no blank pop-ups, nigga. You fucking. I don't give a fuck. Gas, food, all that shit going up. Shit, call me over your goddamn house. You better be ready.
Boy, what?
I like G.
Hey. Motherfuckers, look, everything I'm saying gonna make me sound cold, y'all, but I'm sorry. When I was young, I just knew what I wanted and I went by no bullshit. I used to tell motherfucker that shit on the phone. I'll make them say it. They'll be like, well, they ain't sleep yet. Well, call me when the motherfuckers sleep. And I don't mean dozing the fuck off either. I mean knock the fuck out. I am not coming over there without some wounds. That's just it. I ain't got time for that. Especially middle of the night. These are booty call hours. I am not moving without some wounds. I don't give a fuck what the hell happening. This is it. This is it. You got to know exactly what you do. I made sure I had a complete understanding before I got off that goddamn phone.
But bruh, I'm gonna tell y'all something, bruh.
I need you naked when I walk in the door. No bullshit.
But by me being the oldest one out of all of us, bruh, I find myself fucking with younger females that's in their late 30s, early 40s. Alright? So I decided to date an older motherfucker, y'all. And that shit was trash. I mean, okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Bruh.
They made it trash, Mike.
Bruh. I guess I'm supposed to a young
Oh,
that,
fuck.
You know, do all the whoop shit, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, they play games. The old motherfucker want to play games, beat around the bush. Bitch, you know I want my shit, so what the fuck you don't? I ain't got to tell you. I asked you, what the fuck? What you looking at it for? That's what it's for. What the fuck is... I'm like, bro. I said, ooh. I told her, bro, ooh, you give me a motherfucking headache. She like, what? See, like, ain't nobody ever talked to me like this. I said, look. It's more to fucking than you just laying on your back. I like, look, I know we both, I know I'm up in age, and I like to fuck. I'm sorry. All this shit you know, that's for retirees. I ain't made it there yet.
God damn.
Like, bro.
God damn.
I just told him this shit is trash. What you got? You got she got a bad body, but god damn, who you been with? You ain't learned nothing in all. The motherfucker was 51. You ain't learned nothing in all your 51 years.
Somebody in the chat room said she had dry pussy problems.
No, that she did not have. She just did not have no fuck game. She had no shit. Whoever she
Hey,
with, it'd be like,
why are they talking about dry pussy in the chat room? I just caught that. Now there's about 4 or 5 people saying something about it.
No, the pussy wasn't dry. It was just she didn't know how to fuck.
Oh, Jesus. Woo.
How you gonna be that old and don't know how to fuck?
Woo. Hey, David from Kentucky again said pussy felt like old grits.
Damn.
Even the goddamn people in the chat room to it. It's just hey, they talk about older women pussy be dry. That's what they talk about. I'm just reading. Y'all go ahead, man. I'm just reading through this shit in the chat room. It's just
but yeah, that's what, bro. But I'm telling you, bro. Like I mean, I hurt her feelings. I felt bad for a minute, but then once I thought about what the fuck I'm feeling bad for. You know your shit was trash. You should have told me that shit.
You be thinking, you know what? I used to say that too.
Like,
I refuse to believe that a motherfucker don't know their sex game up to par. Of course, they don't tell you though, but I refuse to believe a motherfucker don't know it. You know that shit,
bruh. If a motherfucker tell you they been single for over a year, there's something wrong with that motherfucker.
Oh, they could just be crazy. You know, all crazy women got good pussy. I mean, I'm just saying. They could be just crazy though. I don't know if that fits because I know a couple of crazy women. It just take the dude a split second to realize they're crazy. And I'm gonna tell y'all the key way of knowing a woman crazy before y'all even waste your time and date. Become Facebook friends with them first, or any social media page at all, Instagram, whatever the fuck, and watch how often they'll put up a dude picture and take it down. If you see that shit happening a lot, that bitch crazy. She crazy because it take a dude about maybe 3 months to really just accept that. Yeah, this bitch crazy. You know, because if they look real good, a dude gonna try to work with it because they look so good for a minute. You know what I'm saying? But if you see this motherfucker got a nigga and she putting up pictures with that nigga for about 3 months, claiming she off the market, and you give it 3 months later and that nigga ain't on no